I'm Ethan Turpin, and this is from a series I do called Video Feedbacteria. This piece itself is called Video Feedback Temperatures, because this is the first time I've used color as much into it, and it's based on what's called color temperature of the light in the room. So the colors you see in here are all responding to the subtle daylight and incandescent light in the room, and it changes over the course of the day as the light changes outside and spills through the front door. What's happening here, though, it comes entirely from a 90s digital video camera and a video projector, plus in this case the addition of a little box that helps you dial in the color or the sharpness of the pixels. That it was designed for people who wanted to copy VHS tapes.
Is the camera up there?
Yeah, it's just a camera and projector up there, and the black box over there on the left is this little video processor box for basically for pirating VHS movies, and in the process, quality controlling your color or your sharpness.
So that's interesting. You've used something to pirate movies.
Yeah, so none of those things were really intended for this. And what's happening here is that I've registered the pixels of the camera and the pixels of the projector on top of each other in a way that they grow their own patterns and their own behavior and color and stuff.
Can you demonstrate some patterns?
Sure. It's very responsive to light. So and you can erase it. And then it regrows itself. And what's interesting to me is the way the green and the pink come into it, which I've never seen before in this when I've experimented with it before. So there you have it.
So what's the story that led you to this in a nutshell?
So video feedback is a well-known phenomenon, especially amongst people who play with cameras and stuff. It's just running a live video camera to its display like a TV. And normally what you'll see is a corridor of the frame. But I started seeing weird patterns like flashing in front of the screen, and I isolated them and sort of discovered new, that it was growing its own patterns from the pixels. From a phenomenon you might call like a moire pattern, like if you have two screen doors and you see a shimmering wavelength in between the screen doors. That's a moire pattern. That's what's going on with the pixels, but they're doing that over and over and over and over and over and over again, and continually growing patterns, and as it sees itself over and over.
What's the value of art like this? Easy.
I think it's multi-layered value. In a way, it's a toy. It's just a big light toy. It gets you to move with it. You get to be a part of the art. But I think it actually, for me, what's most profound is the way it shows how nature can emerge in our own technological systems. Because a lot of the patterns that we see are coming out of spiral geometry and similar in some ways to the way that cells grow in non-vertebrates and certain life forms and other examples in nature. So it's, in some ways, the pixels are acting like cells sometimes act in this.
What's the evolution of your art? Did you start in photography, or?
Photography is informed what my ideas, the things that inspire me for a long time. I started shooting around when I was 20, when my dad gave me a camera. It was the camera that he bought to take pictures of me when I was born, and then he gave it to me, and I started shooting a lot, shooting still photographs. And I don't think of myself much as a photographer. It's just that I use cameras in the way I make art. So I think I've always really been an artist. But I also am a professional video producer, and they come together sometimes.
What lessons have you learned from this project?
I think I've learned patience in this project a lot because I set up a certain condition, and then it's sort of like a gardener, hoping that things will grow. But the way they grow is of their own making. Or in another sense, it's drawing itself. So I'm a collaborator in a way, and it does the drawings.
All right, collaborating on the spot.